Hello everyone, I'm Daniela Hoyos, Vice President of Advocacy for Flipping the System. Today I'm sitting down for a quick chat with Ms. Kelly Jackson from the Office of Victim Services, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what she does and how she's here to serve you guys, the student body, and help us get a better understanding of how we can prevent sexual assault on campus and what options are for survivors. So thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, and so do you want us to talk a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do at OVS?
Sure. My name is Kelly Jackson. I'm one of two full-time advocates here at the University of Florida Police Department in the Office of Victim Services. And we are a free and confidential resource for all students, all employees, and even visitors to our campus. We offer support and assistance, and as well as referrals and resources, and we'll, I guess, go into that a little bit later as well. And I've been part of this unit for 6.5 years, and I loved every minute of it. I enjoy working with students. I love the college atmosphere. And before that, I worked in the office of the chief in another role, and so total I've been here at the University Police Department for about 31 years.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, quick question, is the University Police Department affiliated with OVS, or how does that work? Like, if someone comes to you for your services, does it automatically go to the police department as well?
No. Even though we are housed in the University of Florida Police Department, we are a unit under that University Police Department umbrella. So we are able, and we're non-sworn, I think I forgot to say that, so we're non-sworn, which also allows us to provide that sense of confidentiality. And we are, for the most part, confidential. There are some scenarios and situations where we are mandated reporters, like most people here on campus, and I'll be happy to go through that with you if you'd like. So again, the police department doesn't have access to our information, our files, our notes. We don't maintain paper files. Most of our information is digital, and it doesn't carry over into the police department's case management system at all.
Yeah, that's really good to know. And then so what exactly do the resources that you guys have look like for victims, and what is the process a victim might undergo when they come and step into your office?
Sure. Their first initial contact may be with our front office or even with our dispatch center through the phone. And we also, students can also access our dispatch center through text, email, or through the GatorSafe app. And so once they come in, whether they make an appointment or not, they'll connect with one of the advocates, and basically we'll sit down with them as an initial appointment, and we disclose immediately what our mandated reporting scenarios and requirements are, so that they can make an informed decision about what they want to share, what they're comfortable sharing with us, and then we just kind of go from there. If they have already filed a case report or police report, whether it be University Police Department or the Gainesville Police Department, we don't ask them to retell their story. What we'll try to do is get a copy of that police report, or at least have access to it, review it, so that we see what their situation is, so that we don't, again, ask them to retell that story, re-traumatize them. Our goal is to have them tell it as least amount of times as possible. Then from there we assess what their immediate needs are for safety, if it's a crisis intervention, and then from there we look at their long-term needs as well. So we assess and then kind of go from there. It also depends on if they haven't reported, what route they might like to report in terms of reporting options. We let them know what those options look like. Is it through the university reporting options? That would be your Title IX or your Student Conduct Code. The Student Conduct and Conflict Resolution Office. And then also your law enforcement. Do they want to report to law enforcement? If so, what does that journey look like, and what those next steps may look like? And then from there we look at resources. What immediate needs do they have? Counseling and Wellness Center may be a resource, the Disability Resource Center, and many, many more here on campus. And then we also look at, in our community, within the city and within the county, what maybe some resources they may benefit from as well.
Right. So it seems like a very holistic
Yes.
approach to like the victim response and kind of, you know, guiding them through that process.
Very comprehensive. Yeah.
Mhm. And so on that note, what does it mean to you to be a victim advocate? What about that is like the things that you treasure the most or that you find to be most crucial in this kind of field?
As a victim advocate, a lot of people do envision, you know, us out there protesting with signs or T-shirts. To me, victim advocacy means just making sure that all victims of crime, no matter what that crime is treated with respect and dignity, and that they're heard and listened to, and that they know that they're believed. You know, it's a very difficult process, no matter what reporting option you go through, or if they decide not to report it. There's still just a lot of things to unpack and unfold, and I thoroughly enjoy being there for someone who has had the worst day of their life, and not knowing what to do, where to go, and who to talk to. So I like being able to be there for them in that moment in time and help them navigate all of it, because it's very confusing, very stressful, very overwhelming. And if I can, whatever I can do to help lessen that stress or help it be manageable, keep them in school, that's a big goal, then I feel like I've done my work as an advocate.
So it can look like a lot of different things,
Absolutely.
it seems. So if a victim comes to you and maybe their academic performance is being impacted because they're having trouble sleeping, focusing, having to go through the process of reporting, that is something that you can work with them towards.
Exactly. You know, again, it's not a all-in-one kind of thing, and for each student that comes to us, it's a one-to-one in person, so it's what we go over with them is very customized to their specific situation. So yeah, if it involves housing, if we need to get them relocated through whether it's on-campus housing or off-campus, we certainly have those conversations. Academically, if we need to serve as a liaison between the student and their professor or professors, we do that as well to see if they maybe can accommodate that student, extend some deadlines, maybe retake quizzes or exams, things like that. That's what those look like. If we need to connect them with the Title IX office or student conduct, request a student conduct no contact directive, which means cease all communication and contact. We go over that, we assist them with all that, and we accompany them to anything and everything, every appointment, every meeting that they want us to go to, including, you know, for sexual battery cases. One of the most immediate things we do have to talk about, and the victim does have to make a decision about, is whether or not they want to go to the emergency department and do a forensic exam, which is basically a collection of evidence. I know on the media and social media and TV and movies, it's called a rape kit, but we call it a forensic exam. And we accompany to them, and that can take anywhere between 5 and 10 hours, just depending on the availability of specialized trained nurses that are trained specifically for sexual batteries. And also we have a special room that sexual battery victims use, so that they're not in the general population of the emergency department.
That's honestly sounds like a really amazing resource to be very compassionate towards the victims, which is great, especially when you feel so alone going through this type of process. And I'm really glad that you guys offer that here on campus. So what is, I guess, one thing that you think might be like a myth about what people think about OVS or about what it is that you guys do, and basically something you want to debunk? Maybe it's about the type of cases that you see, what could be considered something under your jurisdiction, like expertise in that way, or just something that I guess you want the student body to know.
Sure, great question. And we deal with this a lot, and then once we think we've got it debunked, then something new pops up, but it's kind of whack-a-mole. But yeah, you touched on it, a lot of them, really, 3 or 4 of them. Probably the first and foremost is we are available to students and employees whether or not they report to law enforcement. A lot of people think, oh, well, they're going to force me to report, or I have to report first, then I can have access to Office of Victim Services, and that is not true. And what goes hand in hand with that is, let's say they do report, but it occurred off campus, we're still available to you all as students and to employees, whether or not that crime was committed on campus or not, and whether it was reported or not. So I think that's great information to know. So again, they know that we're a resource for all of the students, and that also, even though we're housed in the police department, we are, again, we're confidential for the most part, and we're easy access. I mean, I think we're very centrally located. I think everybody passes by us at one point, so I think that's great. And we can just give them that one-on-one, warm and fuzzy and friendly, attention and assistance. Hopefully they feel comfortable with us. That's what our hope is. And I think that's all really.
Awesome, that's amazing. And I know that we've had a lot of conversations about what we can do, and so we're trying to focus on the prevention side, and it's great to know that we have resources like you available for victims. So I'm really happy that we get to work together.
Absolutely.
And thank you again so much for sitting down with me.
Yeah.